Nice to meet you. But I can take those over my laptop. If anything, if you like tag team or add stuff later.
Sure, let's try that and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
It's perfectly fine.
Okay, if I figured if you do, I can supplement like whatever's missing, or do you want me to do it today?
You can both do it.
You, oh, I'm so sorry.
Am I muted?
Sorry.
Good evening, everyone. We're just waiting for the members to take their seats.
Okay. Okay, we're welcoming everyone to our CEC 21 November business meeting. Calling to order. Do we have a motion to open the meeting? Vera, Amy, seconds. Okay, now we will proceed with the roll call.
Jay,
Present.
Lakeisha,
Present.
Randy,
Present.
Amy, Nadia, Dawn, Petra, Elizabeth, myself present, Esfira, Max, May Ping,
Present.
Hi, Mippy. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So welcome to the November business.
Priscilla.
So,
Sorry, she
Yeah.
wasn't on my document. Hi,
Yeah, I'm
Priscilla.
here.
Hi.
Priscilla present. Welcome everyone to the November business meeting of Community Education Council 21. We're excited to be here at Kingsborough Early College Secondary School, hosted by Principal Dr. Tracy Murrin and the KECSS family. Great to be here. We'll proceed to old business. The review of our October minutes. The minutes from last month were sent to the council members by email earlier in advance of this meeting. Does anyone have any concerns regarding the minutes? Seeing no concerns, we can move on to new business. And the first order of new business is approval of the October minutes. So we can proceed with the roll call for. I think we need to hear it on the Zoom.
Okay, Jay,
Approved.
Randy,
approved.
Lakeisha,
Approved.
Espira, Elizabeth, myself, approved, Amy,
Approved.
Nadia, Dawn,
Approved.
Petra, Priscilla,
Approved.
Max, and McKay.
Approved.
Thank you, Liz. The next order of business is our treasurer's report. So that will be by Espira.
So the opening balance was at 16,923. The closing balance is 23,669. We had a $6,996 return for the administrative assistant that we acquired. And we only spent $1,331. So the balance in the budget is 23,669.
Thank you, Espira. One other item we just wanted to go over, we've done this in the past, it's been some time, is just any council member reports. So if there's anything any council members want to update the council on as far as anything they've done in the district, as a council member, you can at this time. Liz, we were at something yesterday together. Would you like to?
Jay and I attended an event at PS 199 yesterday. Originally, Commissioner Kavan from the police department was supposed to attend. So the school currently has an interim acting principal, Lauren De Natale, and she's been working rigorously to make some changes in the building and to bring in some exciting events. So we attended this event yesterday. There were a series of NYPD folks with them, and they had a really inspiring discussion. The kids were really energized. There was a push-up competition, but the energy was just really phenomenal. So that was our first event, or my first event as a CEC member at one of my liaison schools. So I'm happy to have attended. And they're very gracious and open to having the CEC come to events. So if there's anything else that comes up, I'll be sure to share it with you all.
Thank you, Liz. Randy, Lakeisha, I know.
So, Jay and I had attended at 177. They had a breakfast for the parents. It was an extremely large showing of parents. It was very surprising to see so many parents that early in the morning. They had a beautiful breakfast for them. They had school food there to show how to prepare healthy meals. They had Ms. Stern talked about the grants that they're receiving and new initiatives that she has planned, and interpretation was there. So it was very nice for the whole community to take part of that. I also attended 329. They had a social justice activism at 329. It was a political forum where they invited elected officials to attend, and they shared some of the things that they wanted to change in the community. So they had each grade focus on a topic of something that they wanted to change in the school. So they said that Coney Island is a food swamp, that they don't have, they only have 2 main supermarkets and they don't have many good healthy options. So they were, the elected officials were talking about maybe getting farmers market or having them come out and do pop-ups with healthy food options. They also spoke about a grant that they could apply for, which Principal Marbury said she had already done that. they had spoken about, the hurricanes, they spoke about, they were very upset that they were not, the students did not get to decide on the ferry, that they didn't know about it. So they were very active and they wrote letters and they got in touch with local politicians. And it was very nice for young voices, elementary school kids to be heard. So that was the beautiful thing. They also talked about the amenities about around Coney Island, that they have, you know, the rides and everything during the summer, but during the winter months, there's really not much to do. So they're going to team up and they're having a second forum and they're going to see what the next steps are gonna be.
Lakeisha, does Lakeisha have? Priscilla?
Sorry.
Well, I attended various events and a lot of them included where elected officials were actually interested in having town halls with the youth in the community, where they came out and expressed their concerns and issues that they had within and wanting to see improvement. Instead from school safety to a better curriculum, better school lunches, and different opportunities and regions. A lot of the kids concerned about regions and entrance exams. They met with Hakeem Jeffries and they met with, the borough president, Raymond, who was there. Also, Buggy Senator Jessica was there as well. So there were at least 2 or 3 events in that area where the kids had the opportunity, different youth councils, different schools were able to come in and actually speak one-on-one with their elected officials about their concerns. John Dewey High School is doing a drive for the homeless and migrant children who are placed in different schools in the city. They're working on that as well. They enlisted our help with that. They're going to be sending a flyer shortly to the CEC to help out with that. And I also attended Mark Twain talent show last night. It was great. They do a great job every year, and that's what it is. On Mondays, we're having a disability summit.
Gonna get ranked up.
It was well attended. The Department of Education, and in collaboration with NTI, My Time In, and it was, they had every government agency, Access VR, it was well attended, ACS, travel training. So we had a wide range of varieties from every organization, and it was very informational and valuable, and the resources were great. So I sat there and it was well attended. Thanks.
And I'll just add, you know, Brandy mentioned that event at PS 177 that Principal Stern had. It was a great event. She spoke to that. We thank Principal Stern for that and including us in that as the liaisons for PS 177. Later that day, I at David A. Booty, I donated blood. They had a blood drive, which was great. We thank Principal D'Angelo for hosting that. You know, there's a blood shortage and that, so that was great to see that. And there was a lot of people there. I wasn't there with just 1 or 2 other people. There was a lot of people donating blood. Also, I just have to say, Lakeisha hosted a wonderful event in Coney Island for the Brighter Stars of the Future group that she organized the entire event. D21 leaders meet and greet. We had principals, we had Superintendent DeMola, other district leaders, district staff, PTA presidents. Amy was there, Randy was there. So it was a very nice event. That was great to have a lot of the leadership from all different levels, parent leaders, you know, DOE leaders all together on that night, having a good time in Coney Island. And I think that was all I wanted to mention right now. So, you know, I just want to say too, like, we had a lot to report here from the council, from, you know, some returning members this term, and then also from new members. And the new members, I know there'll be more opportunities to do more as we go on and we make more connections with our liaison schools. So, you know, it was good to hear these reports. So I think with that, we're ready to call for adjournment. If there's no other issues, is there a motion to adjourn? Oh, May Ping, do you have anything you'd like to add before we adjourn?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion from Randy, seconded by Amy. And with that, that adjourns our November business meeting. So we will take a brief pause. We will return at 6 p.m. There'll be a wonderful performance at that time. So for folks on the Zoom, I know it'll go quiet for the next 15 minutes or so, but we will be back at 6 p.m. sharp to start our calendar meeting, which will begin with a great performance. Thank you. Council District 21, calling the meeting to order. Do I have a motion to begin this month's meeting?
Motion.
Randy and Esfira. Motion and second. We will do the roll call. Liz?
Jay,
Present?
Randy,
Present.
Lakeisha,
Present.
Esfira,
Present.
Elizabeth, myself present, Priscilla,
Present.
Amy, Nadia, Dawn, Petra. Max, sorry. Lately.
Present.
Present.
Thank you, Liz. And now we will proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance. Do we have anybody here who would like to recite the Pledge of Allegiance? A child? Do we have anybody online who would like to recite the Pledge of Allegiance?
No.
No? Okay. Superintendent DeMolder, will you lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh, I see a picture of a flag next.
We have kids. Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's fun. Come on, guys.
Yeah, you can both do it. You can both do it.
Take the mic. Go ahead.
You do it together.
It's okay.
We're gonna look at a picture because there are pictures of flags all over.
We'll all look away. We're looking at a flag.
Ready?
Ready?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Great
so
job,
much.
guys. Thank you.
That was great. And now we will begin with a performance by the KECSS cheer team under the direction of Coach Marshall.
You have to stand.
Thank you, Coach Marshall. Thank you, KECSS cheer squad. That was amazing. One more round of applause. Okay, so as we begin the November meeting, I'd just like to welcome everyone again. As always, we are glad to be joined by Superintendent DeMola. We thank Dr. Tracy Murrin, principal here at KECSS, and her staff for hosting us at Kingsborough Early College Secondary School. Thanks for the entire staff for making this possible. Thank you to our KECSS PTA, President Randy Garrett, also our first vice president. Wonderful refreshments here for the in-person folks. Thank you to all the principals, assistant principals, parent coordinators, support staff, students, and families for joining us in person and virtually. We'd like to acknowledge Anthony Aguilar. He's our FACE governance team specialist from DOE for his continued support to CEC21, and our CEC21 administrative assistant, Steve Washington. Thank you for everything you do for us. And Steve, I have to say, is now working out of our new CEC21 office as of this meeting, downstairs here at the Lafayette complex. So we're very excited. We have to acknowledge and thank Principal Caruso from Sethlo for hosting us previously in our old office, and with our move to our new space here at KECSS. Now that we're settled into our new home, in addition to Dr. Murrin, we have to thank all the principals of the 5 schools here at the Lafayette complex. So Principal Cradle of the High School of Sports Management, Principal Mullen of the Expeditionary School for Community Leaders, Principal Kelch of Life Academy High School for Film and Music, and Principal De Leon of International High School at Lafayette. Thank you all for making it possible for us to be here and have a space and a home in your home. We really appreciate that. So when we get to discussions here during the meeting, we just ask that we focus our words on ideas, not on other people. We direct any comments towards the superintendent and the council. We want to make sure everybody feels comfortable sharing their thoughts. For the public speaking portion of the program later, we do have an in-person sign-up sheet. So that is here in the room for folks here in person, if you'd like to speak. For the attendees on Zoom, we remind everyone to be respectful in the online chat. Again, direct everything towards us here at the dais, not at other people in the meeting. And when public speaking begins for the online folks, you can use the raise hand function, or you can drop your questions in the chat. And we will allow 2 minutes of speaking time during the public speaking portion of the program. And so now we will proceed with the superintendent report. So here is Superintendent DeMola.
Good evening. So sometimes my job is a little bit more difficult than other times, and this is one of those times. As a community, as a family, we celebrate together. We enjoy each other. We learn from each other. And there are times when we come together in sadness and to mourn together. And this is one of those times. A beloved member of the District 21 community and the district team sadly passed away last week on November 4th after a short illness. Took many of us by surprise at how quickly her illness took her. And tonight, I just want to take a moment to pay tribute to Flora Ironelli, who was the teacher development and evaluation coach and an educational administrator for District 21 in this last role that she held with the department, but she was with the department for many years. I personally knew Flo, as we called her, for about 16 to 17 years. When I first became a superintendent, and we shared space in the Flatlands office of the Department of Education. And even though we didn't work together directly at first, if you knew Flo, you knew that it was hard not to fall in love and to feel like a member of her family for every minute that you knew her.
So I'm going to ask, in Flo's honor and memory this evening, if we can pause and take a moment of silence in her memory and remember her, for the love, support, and, her passion and commitment that she had to the children and families of not just District 21, where she started her career, but in District 22 and throughout the city. District 31, she worked for a while. She will be missed. Thank you. So to honor Flo, we will continue our tradition of doing what is right and just for our students and their families. And we reaffirm our commitment to the community in Flo's name as we move forward. I was the superintendent for some of the schools in this building when I first started my career as a high school superintendent. And walking in, I got those warm and fuzzies that I get when I walk into high schools. It's where I spent the first half of my career, and it's exciting to be here. I loved seeing the cheerleaders. That was exciting, and they did a great job. And I thank them for supporting us this evening. So what's new and exciting in District 21? So we are continuing our journey with our shift to the science of reading. And right now, what we're really focused on is looking at how the shifts in literacy instruction make sense for our students who are multilingual learners and our students that have special needs. As we know, we need to adapt and make all curriculum accessible to our students. So we're working very closely with our teachers to deepen all of our knowledge, and as we learn this together, on how to use data, individualized data, to lift and support our students. I'm so overwhelmed by the commitment of our teachers and our school leaders and our families and our school support staff in really taking on this challenge of doing this shift. And it is a work in progress. It is not perfect. And we all, as I said, we are learning together. We are a phase 1 district, which means that, you know, we're working out the kinks and we're figuring out how to make this make sense. And next month, I look forward to being here with some of the experts on my team to really talk about not just the state of the district, but to give some really detailed information to the community around this journey so far. What is the same, what looks different, and to really, you know, have a conversation with the community around the science of reading. I also want to congratulate 2 of our schools, Bay Academy and Mark Twain Intermediate Schools, who ranked in the top 10 on the U.S. News and World Report for middle schools. Bay Academy is number 3 overall in the state and the city, and number 2 for Magnet High Schools. Mark Twain, number 10 overall in the city and state, with number 6 for Magnet High Schools. And I am just really thrilled and excited by that. They work very hard. We don't screen academically at those schools. We screen for talent. And the teachers are work and administrators are working really hard, and I congratulate them. And as a district, we are just very proud. The list came out today, or at least I became aware of the list today. I got some phone calls, and I know those schools are very excited, and I will be unpacking where we stand with the rest of the schools in the days to come. So that's my report for this evening. I thank you for this time.
Thank you, Superintendent Demola. Now the next order of business here on a calendar meeting is some District 21 high school presentations that we were going to have. Obviously, we're getting close to the admissions opening up for high schools. So closing, I'm sorry, closing. So we wanted to provide some information for them. We have a few principals here to provide some information from their wonderful schools. So we will begin with Principal Cradle from the High School of Sports Management.
It's his team.
Are you able to come up? Because I don't know,
They have a Zoom. I mean, they're gonna present,
you have a presentation, right? Okay,
but did he have something he wanted to share on his own?
Oh, well, what's happening, Brad?
because we have our,
He had set up.
Okay.
okay.
You want to set up? You want to set up? Online?
If you were to come right here, that would be fine.
Sure. Everybody can see me on TV?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, good evening, everybody. Principal Cradle here at the High School of Sports Management, one of the amazing schools at the Lafayette Education Complex. We've been doing a lot of middle school tours through the month of October and November. I mean, I've gone in person to different districts to just talk to middle school families about high school and what that experience will entail. So a small school like mine is not one of the big 3 M's, like a Madison, Monroe, Midwood, right? And so it's important for small schools like ours to go out and talk to people, do some real outreach, let people know what we offer. And let me also kind of follow what the superintendent mentioned around the science of reading and how important it is when we think about literacy. This community has a huge influx of beautiful children from all over the world. And one of the things I did as a principal, I embraced the asylum. I said, these are my children, these are my babies, and we got to teach them, right? And we got to meet their needs. And so over the last 2 years, the High School of Sports Management has retooled their teachers through professional development around the science of reading. So here's what I think everybody should know tonight. The brain was not designed to read. I repeat, the brain was not designed to read. When a baby is born, right, the only 2 things that the brain can do, and it was designed to do, facial recognition, right, and listening, auditory. That is how the brain is designed. And so what we have taught our teachers is that reading is a construct, and we have to be very intentional about how we teach 9th graders, 10th graders, 11th graders, and 12th graders on how to be proficient readers. We have a theme at our school, it's called Liberation Through Literacy. I believe literacy is a civil right of all of us here in this country. In order for us to compete in this beautiful, amazing space in a library, it's not only great to have a lot of books, but it's also important for children to be able to read those books, right? And so it is my charge as a principal at a small high school to redevelop and redesign teachers so that when young people come through our doors, they're learning how to read, how to make the wedge into social studies, science, ELA, and math. We're a small school. We have 343 students right now. I have about 34 teachers. School is growing. Last year we had probably the best graduation rate in a long time, about 82%. I'm proud of that. Even though sometimes people say, well, those included waivers, but listen, I didn't make the waiver system. What I said was I made sure that young people met the requirements. And it looks like we're going to do it again in June. We're going to hit that number again. So I'm really proud about what we're doing. We offer advanced placement courses. We're a shared campus. And each school has an AP offering. In our school specifically, we do AP Computer Science and AP Calculus A and B. We have probably one of the most phenomenal spaces in New York City. We call it the G Lab, the Gamification Laboratory, where young people have an opportunity to learn the phenomenon in esports. You got it, that's right, gaming. If you got children, they love gaming, we have a space, and we share this space on this beautiful campus, the G Lab. And so we designed that space because young people wanted that. Kids came to me 5 years ago and said, how can we turn the art room, which was dysfunctional, into a space that they could call their own? I sat with those students, they helped me redesign it. I met with DIIT, the Division of Information and Technology at the DOE. They gave me 24 of the highest end computers. They gave me bandwidth and access in an amazing way. We established the G Lab, and we've had tournaments between other high schools in South Brooklyn. But we've also made it advantageous for young people to come to school every day. They flock to the G Lab. They want to be in the G Lab in the morning, at lunch. And sometimes it's been difficult to get kids out the building because the G Lab is open. So we really work in a small way, but we do a lot of great big things. So I got Henry. Henry's back. Henry's my 12th grader. Wave, Henry. All right. Henry, why don't you play that video for us?
You have your sound. I have my so like.
Hey, Henry, why don't you play it? And we might be able to hear it from the screen. No? Yeah, something. Yeah. You hear it over there?
Yeah, maybe a speaker and put it nearby the.
Can you bring the laptop over here?
And it's frozen.
Yeah.
No, he paused it,
Okay.
but if he brings it here, we could put the mic.
Yeah, we put the mic to the laptop.
See, let's say.
We'll figure it out.
So as he's coming, folks, we have two programs, K97R, which is our sport business management program, and we have K97S, which is our sports management technology program. Two different pathways for young people, students that want to own sports businesses and students that want to run the technology side of sport business.
Do it.
I think.
Is it something we can share later, maybe? We post a link here.
We post a link to it maybe for people to watch it on their own.
So what we'll do is we'll post the link.
Here, let me give this back to you.
Yeah.
Presentation.
Yep. And so what this was going to end up showing you was this next level of innovation. Henry put this together, right? And I do a lot of work with my students. I expect students to do a lot of the work at our school. I just like to be the visionary. I like to be the person that like writes the checks for my kids and give them like multiple ways and pathways to dream big, like I dream big. And that's pretty simple. Sports management is a very special space or place, school designed in 2005. Superintendent of Multiple Members Robin Pitts, the founder of the school, and she just really gave me an opportunity to lead our school into the future. So we're excited, and we're doing a lot of great things upstairs with our children and our family. So thank you, and we'll post the link within the chat so you can check it out. The video's there, and I know the application is closing on December 1st. On December 1st. We'll be around a couple of schools. I got a couple more tours to go to and really just recruit kids. I'm out here recruiting kids. I want kids to know I want to be their principal. All right, so thank you.
Thank you, Principal Brady from the High School Sports Management. Now we're going to move on to our next presentation from Principal Dr. Tracy Martin from Kingsborough Early College Secondary School. I didn't give you the moment. It's a-
Hi. I'm just gonna wait for her to set up. Good evening, everyone. I'm gonna use my cafeteria voice. I don't think I need the microphone.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
No. Yeah, go back in.
yeah, you could put that one back in.
Right, but it was connected to the Zoom.
The school's still on.
Oh.
They just.
Yeah, the Zoom's on. It's not on the screen.
The people, yeah.
Okay, but it'll connect on her? Okay, sorry. I put this on.
We're good. Okay. Welcome, everyone. I am the principal of the Kingsborough Early College Secondary School. We are a 6 to 12 early college school located here in District 21. What does it mean to be an early college school? Well, our students are offered the opportunity to earn an associate degree from Kingsborough Community College, which is completely tuition free while they're here. So when they graduate from our institution, they're graduating with their middle school, high school, and an associate degree. We're one of about 3 schools within the entire city that offer this opportunity to students to earn the entire degree. So while we might have many schools within the ECI network, many of them offer credits, but we offer a culminating diploma. Okay, so how does it work? So while your child is here at KCSS, they are able to take college classes beginning as early as the 9th grade. And those colleges serve a dual purpose. They afford students the opportunity to graduate their high school classes, so they earn those credits required for high school graduation, while simultaneously working towards the 60 credits required for the associate degree from Kingsborough. So for example, students need to take a foreign language class in order to graduate from high school. That foreign language class can also be taught from at the college level, and it will serve the purpose of high school requirements and college requirements. So what can you expect at KCSS? So if your child joins us in 6th grade, you can expect small class sizes, individualized instruction. We're really big on that. We're actually a lighthouse school for individualized instruction and for showcasing how to differentiate meaningfully for individual students. We have high expectations for all of our students, a really rigorous curriculum, obviously, and equitable opportunities for all. We have many extracurricular activities in addition to what is offered through PSAL in high school. We are also a certified Taekwondo dojo, so your children can earn. We have had students graduate with their black belts from our program, so it's really exciting to do that. We have we're really all about the arts. We have a really rigorous student-run talent show opportunity and school play. We do offer students the opportunity to get International Honor Society, and with that, we offer the opportunity for them to participate in community service activities through our Identity Club. We also have Science Olympiad. They're going to be taking part in their first citywide competition in January, and we have our newspaper as well as charity day. Success at KCSS in 2023, we had a graduation rate of 99%, which is pretty typical for our school. On average, our students graduate from Kingsborough anywhere between 98 and 100% of our students graduate from Kingsborough each year. Last year, 66 out of the 101 students earned the entire associate degree. And even within the students who didn't earn the entire degree, on average, students accumulated 45 credits, which is still a significant amount of time off of their college degrees when they transition from us into their senior universities. So one of the things I would like you to know is that when your child joins us in 6th grade, it is a lottery process. Students can join if they live in District 20, 21, or 31. However, in high school, it is a screening process. And the reason being is because we do not fill seats between 6th grade and 8th grade. If students move away or anything like that, we don't fill those seats. We reserve those seats to open up seats in the 9th grade. That being said, because of all of the work that we do with our students in middle school, we interview your children to see if they are ready to take on this very rigorous and somewhat daunting challenge of starting college when they are 13 years old. Unfortunately, we only have about 15 seats available in the 9th grade because our students do not leave our program. And if they are in our school from 6th grade, they have automatic right to continue in our program. So they go directly into the high school bypassing the screening process. As of now, we are open for interview selection for students who are trying to enter our school in the 9th grade. If you are trying to enter our school in the 6th grade, we are on the regular middle school application process. So you can just get one from your guidance counselor and you can put us on your application.
If you want to sign up for an interview, you can go to kecss.info.
That's for high school. Only high school requires the interviews. Okay. Some FAQs for you. We also have copies of this slide deck. So I will hand it out after we leave. So some FAQs, do you have to pay for materials or tuition for college? No, it's all free of charge if your child is enrolled in our program. Which schools accept the college credits earned at KCSS? Pretty much everyone. We have very few limitations on that. Our students have gone to Delaware State, North Carolina, University, Howard, wherever they take the credits. Yeah. For the most part, there are if your child gets the entire associate degree, it's super easy, like the whole thing just transfers with them. Obviously, if they get 45 credits, there may be some that are like, oh, we'll take this class, but not this one. So it's a little bit different in that respect. If your child goes to a SUNY or a CUNY, everything goes with her. If your child is taking accelerated courses while they were in middle school, we can individualize their instruction and their schedule to make sure that they are advanced in areas that they need to be. Can my child take their own college classes? No. So our school is not, we offer a liberal arts degree. And the reason we do that is because we want all students to be able to access these classes. And it also takes the place of any classes that they would need when they're in their first and second years in college. So for example, regardless if you're going pre-med, business, law, you still have to take first year English, first year math, you still have to take a sociology class, all of those things we take care of for you on our end, so that when your child transitions, he or she can begin their major coursework right away. And we could talk more about eligibility. We had a really high turnout for our open house for high school this year. And next year we will be doing the same thing for any students who want to come in and are currently in 7th grade. I will be in the back towards the end. If you have any questions for me, I will be around. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Principal. That was a great presentations from both of the principals here at the Lafayette complex. Thank you. I think that. What? Oh, no. I'm sorry. Okay, we do have one more. So we have Principal Mullen.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Don't forget about Leaders High School. Can they hear me on the Zoom if I go without the mic?
Yeah, I think you can if you project and use your cafeteria voice.
I can do that. I can do that. So Leaders High School is a very unique school. We are a New York City outward bound school. What that means is, has anyone ever heard of Outward Bound? No. Yeah. So Outward Bound, when most people think of Outward Bound, they think of outdoor education, outdoor adventure. It was an organization that was founded around World War II that took people out and still does today on adventures, climbing mountains, on canoes, figuring out how to survive in the wilderness. And at some point, a group of people said, the kind of learning that happens when you're on outdoor adventure expeditions, that should happen in schools. So they started New York City Outward Bound, and Leaders is one of those schools. So what does that mean? That means what we do is we make our classrooms based on exploration, based on discovery, based on collaboration. Just like when you're out in the wilderness, you have to do things that are authentic, not just a bunch of hoops that you jump through in order to graduate. The things that we do at Leaders are connected to the real world. They have meaning. And it's a community where students collaborate all the time. We're constantly doing group work. It's not the kind of school where a teacher gets up in front of the class, lectures for 30 minutes, maybe writes some stuff on the smart board, and then on a test, the student has to kind of just spit that stuff back out on an exam. That's not the way it works at Leaders. At Leaders, students grapple with complex ideas, and their ideas, the students' ideas, are at the forefront of their learning. Students take charge of their learning. Their ideas build their curriculum. So we are also, in addition to being an Outward Bound school, we're also part of the consortium. Now, what that means is the New York Performance Standards Consortium means that our students, instead of taking the Regents exams, our students engage in what's called performance-based assessment. We call them mastery passages, where, for example, in history, in 11th grade, the students will dive into a topic, decide this is the topic I want to write my research paper on. They'll write a 10 to 15 page research paper. That paper is evaluated using a rubric that all the consortium schools across the city use. And then they have to present that paper to a committee. That committee is made up of teachers and Leaders, but it's also made up of people from all over the country who come to visit Leaders to see how we do this unique form of education. It's like when someone gets their PhD and they're defending their dissertation. That happens in all of the subjects. So in math, students take what they've learned in math class and they apply it to a project. And then, once that project is complete, they present it back to me. In science, they have two options. One is experimental design, where students design their own experiment, conduct the experiment, collect the data, analyze the data, write their findings in a paper, and then again, presenting that to a committee. Once these presentations are meeting standards, those presentations and those papers replace the Regents exams. And then people often ask, do they still get a Regents diploma? Yes, because the state recognizes the work that we do at Leaders and the other consortium schools as exceeding the requirements that are from a multiple choice test and the Regents exam. So it's a very empowering process where students have to take initiative and they have to kind of say, I want to make the most out of this experience. They get a lot of support. A lot of times when I give presentations at open houses and I talk about these presentations, the 8th graders look at me and they go, I'd rather take a test. Come on, that's crazy. I don't know why do all that. We prepare the students for that experience because they're doing these projects throughout their time in 9th and 10th grade, and they're presenting to each other, practicing for that big day in 11th and 12th grade when they're going to have to do the master passage. Another big thing about Leaders is we have what's called crew. Crew is a small group of students, about 15 students, that meet 4 times a week, doing social emotional learning, team building, planning for their future, and they stay with those same 15 kids for 4 years. It guarantees that no one in our school is anonymous. You know, if you go to some big schools, students often walk around and no one really knows them well. At Leaders, we make sure that every student has someone that knows them well, personally and academically. And we take social emotional support and mental health as a top priority, and that with that system of crew and just a really strong community with school spirit. And it's a really special place. It's not a traditional school. It's a very rigorous school. Our students go to top colleges, whether it's SUNYs, CUNYs, or privates. Our students do really well. And then they go to college and they come back and they say, you know what? Those PBATs that I did, that prepared me for college. Thank goodness. As stressful as it was, it prepared me for college. And so it's a unique school. If your child's interested in something a little different, where it's not just kind of, hey, I'm kind of going through the motions, they're really engaging in the work. Is it Henry? Is that his name? Hey, Henry. Henry is going to drop two links into the chat, and anyone who's here can come to the table and I'll give you the links. One is a student video. It's a video of students talking about leaders. I don't want to show it now because I know we're running late on time, but you can watch it yourself. And for you guys, I can kind of send it to you directly. And it's also a link for our open house. We still have 2 more open houses. And at those open houses, I don't do all the talking. I got about 10 kids at every open house and they do the talking. And you get to really get the inside scoop on what Leaders is like. But anyway, I hope you learned a little something about Leaders. And thank you so much. Hopefully some of your children will join us.
Thank you, Principal Mullen, the Expeditionary School for Community Leaders. I don't see in the Zoom, we thought there might be someone else presenting, but I don't see anyone in the Zoom that seems to represent someone from that school. I just want to open it up in case there was someone and we weren't seeing them in the chat. Going once, going twice. Okay, I think the principal may have had something come up and was unable to join us tonight. So again, we'd like to thank Principal Cradle, Principal Dr. Tracy Murrin, and Principal Mullen for the presentations tonight. That was great. Again, December 1st, the admissions application closes, so it's really important to get out there and attend these open houses and get the information to make the right choice for your family. And now with that, we're going to move on to the president's report. I have a bunch here to get through, so we'll go quickly. Just one thing, we just wanted to echo from the council. You spoke so eloquently about flow, Superintendent DeMola, but I'll just say on behalf of our entire council, we, send our deepest condolences to her family, to everyone in the district office that was her work family. We know everyone who knew her so well speaks so highly of what she meant to them. So our hearts are with all of you. I don't know, does anybody else have anything they wanted to say about Flo? Okay, again, our condolences to Flo's family and to everyone at the district office and across District 21. Just a reminder to our council members, activity reports, reimbursements by the 5th of December, they should be sent in. I just want to acknowledge that Diwali was this past Sunday, and I hope that for all our families who celebrated, they had a wonderful festival of lights filled with light and happiness. I have to point out that I'm very grateful that for the families that do celebrate Diwali, due to a new piece of legislation that was passed in June with not a single member of the legislature voting against it, and that that Governor Hochul signed into law yesterday, making it official. And that was introduced by Queens Assemblywoman Rajkumar, who was the first elected woman of Indian American woman to the state office. That was signed into law, and now Diwali will be officially a school holiday here in New York City going forward. It will be observed next year and every year thereafter when it falls on a weekday. So next year, we look forward to Friday, November 1st, the day being a school holiday. Schools will be closed and families can celebrate Diwali. Just a few days removed from Veterans Day, we just want to acknowledge all the veterans, whether it's DOE staff here in District 21, veterans in our community. Thank you for your service. I'd also like to again thank our D21 schools that served as poll sites for their coordination with the Board of Elections on Election Day. Very important. They helped ensure members of our community can exercise their most fundamental right in our democracy. We appreciate your cooperation and coordination with the Board of Elections on Election Day. Dates for parent-teacher conferences for high schools, K-12 and 6-12 schools. Tomorrow, November 16th, are the evening sessions, and Thursday, November 17th, also this week, are the afternoon sessions, and that will be a half day. The 2023 school calendar includes all these dates. I could actually drop that in the chat. So, fortunately, we also have the school calendar, not just for this year, it has been posted for the following 2 school years, which is very helpful for making those long-term plans. Also, testing dates for the entire school year. I'll drop that in the chat as well. So if you want to check your testing dates for city, state, national tests, you can check that out. School meals menus, I'll drop that in the chat as well for everyone online. That's also available at all times on the DOE website. You can see what's available in the cafeterias day by day. Some admissions dates. So high school application, as we referenced, it closes Friday, December 1st. Middle school application closes Friday, December 8th, and kindergarten and kindergarten GAT application opens Tuesday, December 5th. Some other sad news. We have a little over 400 parent guardian leaders that serve on the 32 district community councils across the city, and as well as the 4 citywide councils. And we lost one of our own from that larger council member family just last week with the passing of the citywide council for high schools president, Karen Wang. So on behalf of our council, CEC21, I extend our deepest condolences to the Wang family and for all the fellow CCHS members who, and everybody who Karen Wang touched. Some other events around the district that I was able to be part of since our last meeting. We had, in our business meeting preceding this, we referenced some of those on the day that Randy and I went to PS 177 with Principal Stern for an event. And then I also donated blood at David A. Booty. That afternoon, I was able to join some other CEC presidents for a meeting with Chancellor Banks at Tweed, DOE headquarters, following up, and some of his team. So following up on what I had discussed at the end of my President's Council report last month, I presented to the Chancellor with respect to the extreme flooding that we experienced on September 29th and the wider issue of some of these extreme weather events that they're not necessarily new to us, but the frequency that we're seeing them, the flooding, and things like wildfire smoke and haze. That was not something I grew up dealing with when I went to school here in New York City. So, I presented to them about those issues. I asked about what the city and the DOE were doing to address those issues and prepare for them in the future, prepare for them in different ways. We all know, a snowstorm comes and there's a blizzard, and half the people complain if school is closed and half complain if it's not, and it's very difficult, but these present new challenges. So I was very pleased. We also asked about remote learning too, because we're used to just, since we've had remote learning, if we've had to shift to it for some reason, it's a system-wide shift. So sometimes we know flooding doesn't affect the same areas in the same way. We saw that across our own district. So I was very pleased to hear them say that, from the points I raised, they told me it sounded like I was in their meetings because they've been discussing that. So that was very hopeful to hear that they are addressing that. And an update actually came yesterday. They sent something out regarding the 2023-2024 Code of Conduct and District-wide Safety Plan. And I could actually drop that in the chat as well, a link to that. So that covers the Code of Conduct. That's how everyone should behave in school, as well as a safety plan, which covers all aspects of safety. So, that's things that are, our schools deal with on a day in and day out basis, but as well as some of these, events that happen on occasion. There is a difference, though, that there is the version this year, which will be finalized soon, must include the emergency remote instruction plan, the ERIP. So that's going to deal with how we shift to remote instruction in the case of an emergency. There is some event they're doing in preparation for that. You can actually send, when I drop that link in the chat, it covers this. Feedback regarding the proposed changes can be emailed to an email address that's on that website I provided by no later than November 30th. So if you read that ERIP plan about remote instruction, you can actually send feedback as to anything that you feel should be included in that or not included in that. And on December 4th at 6 p.m., there will be a virtual public hearing where they will review all of that feedback and they will take questions from the people in attendance. So that's all on the website from the link I just posted. I just want to mention that there were some great events around the district for Halloween. We hope all the kids and families had a great time trick-or-treating. I know I attended at PSIS 226, their Halloween dance, the weekend, Friday before Halloween. So I thank Principal Klein and the PS 226 family for that. There were a lot of great events around the district. On October 30th, I was able to join a discussion hosted by Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, co-hosted by State Senator Scarcella Spanton, a gun prevention roundtable in Coney Island. It was, I was a panelist on that, and there was a lot of other community stakeholders, a lot of groups and organizations that are addressing gun violence prevention. A lot of times they're addressing it after the incidents that happen, but also a lot of groups that are taking preventative measures and trying to provide something for our children and our community to try to provide opportunities that lead us to a place where we don't see the gun violence we unfortunately sometimes see. It was very helpful, and it was good to see everyone come together and have a conversation about that. I do have to mention our D21 UFT district representative, Adam Shapiro. He couldn't be here. He told me he was had a conflicting meeting. He had a great event last night, a coat drive. I was actually on my way to it and I got a flat tire and I was texting with him, but he told me it was a great event, over 150 coats collected, plus hats and scarves and gloves. And he was very moved by the generosity of the entire community, from the UFT members and everybody else who came and donated. So that was very good to hear. From the Citywide Council on Special Education, we were advised that they have been having, from multiple sources, they've been hearing that some student mandated IP services have been delayed or not offered. And that some parents were told that such missed services didn't have to be made up, which is not true. So CCSE created I'm going to drop this in the chat. They created a form to collect information from parents with IEPs. I'll just drop that in the chat. So if you are the parent of a child with an IEP, I am, and I filled this form out myself. And particularly if you do have any, either way, but if you have issues with what was described with missed services and services that are being said they won't be made up, definitely fill this form out. And if you receive your services, it's great to fill this out too. You can get on their mailing list, and CCSE can provide you updates directly from their council. And I just wanted to mention one other thing. New York City History Day is a program for students ages grades 6 to 12. And it's basically, students create projects based on research historical research. Some teachers and schools get involved with that. There is help from the Brooklyn Public Library. They can help with the applications. It's totally free for all New York City students. Students have the opportunity to win prizes and they can advance to state and national competitions. Some of those have fees if the students advance, but the Brooklyn Public Library works with the Brooklyn Historical Society, and those fees can be covered through that. And they also have scholarships for travel. So I will just drop the link in there. It's a great event. So anybody, teachers, students who are or wish to participate in that, there's a lot of help from the Brooklyn Public Library. I can just drop that link in the chat. And lastly, I just want to wish everyone in advance a very happy Thanksgiving. Obviously it's one of my favorite holidays of the year. I hope everyone enjoys some quality time with their family. Have some restful time over a nice, well-deserved 4-day long weekend. And with that, I wish everyone well, and we can move on to our report of committees. So, we don't have much to report from our committees now. We're working on some dates for the Special Education Committee. We're actually banding about some dates, and there's a lot of other DOE conflicting meetings at the time. So we will be getting something down. We may be discussing some of those other things we were discussing before, Liz, you and I, about what I just spoke about. So we will have a Special Education Committee update sooner than later. And we will now move to the public comment section of the program. I just want to make sure that we defer first to some of the representatives that are here from, if they would like to speak, from elected offices. I see that we do have 2 representatives here. So I would like to acknowledge Donovan Swanson from the Brooklyn Borough President's Office. Donovan, thank you for being here, and as always, for supporting our council and the education councils across our borough. If you'd like to speak, you can. If you're here to just support us, as you always do, we appreciate that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging me in this space. I'm really here in community as always. Unfortunately, I could not make it out. We are doing a lot of great things at Borough Hall. We're currently partnering with High School Superintendent Michael Prayer's office for a HEAT program site. So this is a work-based learning program at Borough Hall focused on civics. And so we have a lot of students from Brooklyn South come, and it just so happened to be on today. So hopefully I will be there in December with you all. But one thing that I'll flag just as the BP is concerned about, tomorrow the city will be outlining the most recent PEG cuts to agencies, right? So that will be released, I believe, by OMB. And so with that in mind, this chancellor has been quite transparent and honest that DOE is going to see significant cuts between principals mid-year adjustments. We're already starting to hear on the ground, right, anecdotally, what the case may be. We are talking with our PEP appointee, as well as the upcoming vote for PEP, and how they'll be essentially passing a budget, an aggregated budget that doesn't really reflect the cuts that are coming down. So there's just a lot of concerns. And so we challenge our CEC council members to really be on the ground connected with your leaders, right? And as transparent as they can be about what cuts they're seeing. And we also know that superintendents have been tasked with conversations around where potentially schools may need to be merged or closed. And so, that may look drastically different across Brooklyn. And so as always, Jay, I'll be definitely reaching out to hear more about what that might look like from 21. We'll be engaging with our superintendents. We've already requested a meeting with DOE to kind of talk about these things. And so just be on the lookout and keep our office in the loop and wherever we can be partners and advocates with you all, because as you all know, we support schools. The only other thing I'll say is because folks are always interested to know, when is Reso A cycling again, right? When will schools be able to apply for funding? We are trying to identify a date now, but we will be inviting principals or any school leader to attend our virtual workshop in December. to discuss Reso A and what the application will look like. My goal is always to have even more schools apply. So we're crunching data and I'll hopefully be able to share with our appointees to report out on, again, how many schools applied within the district, where are there gaps on where principals maybe need a little, I'll say a little push maybe from parent leaders like yourselves that are activated to make sure that they're thinking creatively about what they could be requesting from our office in order to, again, support with things like attendance and enrollment and pieces like that, so we can get our numbers back and, again, have our schools fully funded. So with that, I'm not going to really say anything else. Feel free to message me. I'll put my contact information in the chat for any parent. But as always, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Donovan. We appreciate your continued partnership. We also have Lenny Mark from Senator Ewen Chu's office. Want to acknowledge Lenny for being here from Ewen Chu's office. Lenny, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, I'd love to. Am I coming through loud and clear?
Yes, you are.
Excellent. Good evening, everybody. Again, Lenny Mark from Senator Ewen Chu's office. Just a couple of updates from the goings on in our office and the services we provide. We had a wonderful Halloween celebration where we gave out over 400 pumpkins in our office and an additional 100 that were in Seth Low Playground for a Halloween celebration. If you're interested in getting information about these kinds of events, join our mailing list. I'm going to drop that in the chat. Additionally, the senator is forming a student delegation, which allows high school students to participate and learn about local government, learn valuable skills, leadership skills, things like that. And there is a December 1st deadline to apply. I'm also going to drop that link into the chat. Additionally, we have for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, a What Are You Thankful creative program. So students and teachers can submit on behalf of their students creative works, poetry, essays, whatever they'd like. And I'm going to drop that link into the chat. There's a pattern here. Additionally, we are going to be doing some services in the office. We have the MTA bus coming on November 30th at our office at 6605 Fort Hamilton Parkway. That's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And any type of assistance you might need from the MTA, whether it's a fare card or anything like that, you'll be able to work with the MTA to get that resolved right in our office. Additionally, we're also giving out leaf bags. It's 2 per household. So if you have an abundance of leaves in front of your property and you need somewhere to contain it and after you rig it up, we have them for free in our office. Just drop by anytime between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and they're first come, first serve. And just a quick update, recently the senator had an on-site visit with Department of Transportation and NYPD at 25th Avenue and Bath Avenue. Earlier this summer, that was the site of a grandmother pushing a stroller who was fatally struck by a turning vehicle. And we were attempting to find ways to make that intersection safer. DOT has already made a commitment to making changes there because it is right near Caballero, the school over there. So we want to make it safer. The ideas that were discussed were leading pedestrian intervals so pedestrians can cross sooner, extending the curb cut so that the sidewalk is more narrow, or rather the roadway is more narrow, and elevating the crosswalk itself for better visibility and things like that. So we want to try to get that addressed, not just in that intersection, but area wide over there. And that was one of the things that the center had done recently. Last thing, if you need help from our office, we're available Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our phone number is 718-333-0311. Again, that's 718-333-0311. And I'm going to drop our contact info into the chat as well. Thank you very much, and have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Lenny, from Senator Chu's office. And just following up on that, 25th Avenue and Bath Avenue location. We had spoken about that at CEC meeting here after it had occurred, because it is, as Lenny mentioned, right near Cavallaro. It's right in between 101, 212, Cavallaro, and it's routes for our students to all 3 of those schools. So it's very important that that intersection becomes, see some traffic improvements to make it much safer for our families. And I just want to also mention Eddie Mark from Community Board 13, District Manager. Eddie,
Yeah, I'm
have
here.
any updates?
Sure. Real quick. Next week, I don't know if everyone heard about it, but the mayor is coming to Coney Island to talk about Coney Island issues. It's going to be on Monday, November 20th. It's going to be from 6 to 8:30. At you guys email that you can send to your members, and that would be good. Our meeting date for November will be on November 20th. It's going to be education at the aquarium. So if anyone come to the meeting and you can discuss it there. Also, we're going to have, not us, but the Alliance for Coney Island and other elected officials are going to have a Thanksgiving meal at Gargiulo's from 2 to 6. It's free for anyone who wants to come. There's no reservation. Just come from 2 to 6 p.m. At Gargiulio. So, and they cook a very good turkey. Two things in December that you guys should know. We're having a Christmas caroling on December the 8th, a Friday, at 5 p.m. at the 60th precinct. If anyone's interested, come. And if you can't make it that week, the following week on December the 15th, which is another Friday, we're going to go to the PSA1. Those are free things to do for the people in the neighborhood, and that's my report.
Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate that. And now we can move to the public comment section for the folks here in person. So we have Yatin Shu. You can come right up. Okay, and we reserve 2 minutes for everyone to speak. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CEC21 for hosting this meeting every month. I want to make 2 points in my public comments today. As some of you mentioned, including the BP representative, Mayor Adams, have made it clear that there's going to be significant cuts to all city agencies, and DOE and our public schools won't be spared. I'm particularly concerned about our school safety. Within days of a new recruiting class of school safety agents, 250 of them, he pulled the plug on that class starting. All parents, regardless of what you think of our schools and the way our kids are educated, prize school safety and our kids and our school staff that are in the schools. I would like for this CEC to hopefully advocate and pass a resolution to reinstate school safety agents and make sure we're still behind where we were before pandemic. We cannot lose more school safety agents. That's number 1. 2, I've learned that the standardized reading and ELA curriculum will be, I guess, implemented across all district public schools starting next year. I understand there are pilots going on, but K to 8, the standardized curriculum will be asked to be implemented across the city. While I understand there are benefits of a standardized curriculum, there are also downsides to a one-size-fits-all. And the goal of changes is to improve student outcomes. And I just want to for us to think about what that means for our schools. Superintendent Demola just shared that we have 2 schools in our district, middle schools, that are doing very, very well. And I would like us to consider that schools should be exempt from some of these standardized curriculums if we do not believe that they're really going to help improve the outcomes of the school. There are certainly schools that could choose to implement it, but I would like to consider an opt-out decided by each school, decided by the school leadership team, to see what is best for their school. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And I think we have some others. Brenda Lee, set us up. Yeah, you signed up to speak. You can come right up if you'd like.
But somebody mentioned I would be picking him the other one, and then she would actually. Oh, yes.
Would you like to come up and
While she's coming up, I just want to thank you for your advocacy for a crossing guard at Coney Island Avenue and Avenue Z. We are thrilled that the NYPD finally hired someone for that corner. So thank you for being a very loud voice there.
Great job, Brenda Lee.
Yeah, that was amazing. And Brenda Lee brought that up at our last meeting, and we're here now at the next meeting, and the problem has been addressed. So, and responded to, and, and Superintendent Demoli was here last month and said she would follow up on it. And I know you had been following up from very many angles. So it's good to have a positive resolution in 1 month's time.
Yes, but it's, well, she's actually gonna come.
Yes,
go right ahead. Come.
Yes.
I'm sorry, did I steal your
I
thunder?
don't know if you know, but we did have a question and we did have a concern. We did get a guard in our school and he was just there for 3 days.
You're talking about a new school safety agent?
The new school safety agent, yes. He came in for 3 days and then we haven't seen him since. So
It was like an additional school safety agent? Because every school has to have at least one.
Then over the later they show up, no, he was only there for 3 days.
Is this the school safety or the crossing guard?
The crossing guard?
Crossing guard.
No, he's not dealing with safety, it's on crossing.
yes, the crossing guard.
So hasn't been consistent. Okay.
We just have him for 3 days and this was it.
They said that they can call out at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And
I'll follow up though with NYPD.
We don't know if he's actually going part-time or what is it, and, again, none of the parents have socialized with him, we haven't even gotten to know him or even asked him what was his name, he was there, we was grateful for it, but, the way he was crossing the kids over, he wasn't even doing his job, he was like literally taking the smallest street, which was on Z, but he wasn't concerned about that commercial street, which is Coney Island Avenue.
Okay, I mean, I will raise it with NYPD because that's their employee and I don't know what training they get. Or if he still, kept the job or if he resigns, I don't know. So we'll definitely follow up and I'll make sure Principal Barone gets back to you.
And I have to tell you, I have 2 girls who are in school. I have a daughter that's in 8th grade and I have a daughter that's in 3rd grade and they walk to school alone. We live a few blocks away and they cross by themselves. And for me as a mother, it's very important that they're safe, that, and that's a very, I have to tell you, that's like a very dangerous street.
It is.
Because we have a way that goes into Bell Parkway to turn. So if we could have a guard, it would be highly appreciated for all the children of our school that we would like to.
Okay, I'm glad you raised that because I was told that there was one in place. So if they're only there for 3 days, then that's a problem.
No, he just came in for 3 days
It
and
hasn't
then
been
we
back
have.
since.
Yeah,
Since.
so.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
If anything does happen, because again, we understand time has changed, the time has changed, it's getting darker, we do have after school programs, and by the time the kids come out of the school, it's already dark, that's one, and also because, winter's right around the corner.
Yep.
So this is, it's a big issue, and once again, like I said, it is a commercialized street, we have like literally a car dealership, we have supermarket on that intersection, and like last month, the buses. We understand that they have to pull on that curb, but sometimes they get on that curb, and if you don't have somebody literally pulling these kids, gagging them by their backpack, anyone can get hit. So it is a big issue. You just let us know what we need to do as parents, so we can pass that on to the other parents. And if we need to, get positions, we're willing to do whatever it takes. So we be there to back up and.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to your point, we've seen a few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, Kamara Hughes, a 7-year-old boy, was killed at an intersection near school on the way in the morning, an intersection that doesn't have a crossing guard, that parents have brought up before that is dangerous. So we want to address these things before there's anything even remotely close to that. But we've seen it all too many times. And we've seen 3 crossing guards struck in the past 2 months, one of them fatally injured. So, crossing guards serve a very important purpose. Obviously, they need to be doing things the right way. So, again, we appreciate you advocating for this. And, I know Superintendent DeMola has new phone calls to make, right?
I just wrote myself a note or else I'll never get to it, but yes, first thing tomorrow morning, we're gonna send some emails to people.
And I see Lenny Mark from Senator Iwanchu's office had his hand
I
raised.
did. Yes, I appreciate that. I just wanted to mention, because this was raised earlier regarding the school safety agents. Senator Chu actually wrote the mayor regarding this issue, because right now school safety agents are about 1,200 less than they were pre-pandemic levels, and the mayor's proposed budget cuts would in fact even further to lower the budgets for them. And right now we did a survey of a couple of schools in our district where we had ratios of a single school safety agent for 1,500 kids. And that is not something that is a safe environment. There needs to be more, and there needs to be much safer ratios. So this is actually a letter that is going to be sent as a CC tomorrow morning to all of the CCs as well as the schools. But I just wanted to announce that because it was raised, that I wanted to give that update. So I appreciate you letting me speak one more time. Thank you.
Thank you for the update, Lenny. Do we have any other questions from anybody here in person? We did not on the sheet. Do we have any questions from anyone attending virtually? You can raise your hand or drop that in the chat if you have a question.
Nothing.
Okay, we don't.
I think I forgot to mention.
Oh, okay. Priscilla wants to mention something that she hadn't before.
So the U of T has a scholarship for high school seniors where they get a $5,000 scholarship. It's called the Albert Shanker Scholarship. And the deadline to apply for that is February 28th. And you can find that on the U of T website. And the kids write an essay basically, so they can qualify for the scholarship. But it's for high school seniors.
Thank you. And if there are no other public questions, that brings us to adjournment time. Do I have a motion to adjourn our November meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion from Randy, seconded by Amy. And thank you. Our next meeting will be December 20th. And we, again, look forward to joining you there in person at PSIS 226. At 23rd Avenue and 60th Street, and virtually online for those who can't be there in person. We'll have a very nice meeting that night, and thank you again for being here tonight. Take care, everyone. And recording.